Hello everyone, welcome to Marlin Chess Kids. Today I show the game played by Renan Aparecido and Yago. And this beautiful game comes with a sequence of blocking at the end of the game to create the beautiful checkmate. And let's see how the game plays. The game starts with the pawn to e4, c5, knight f3, d6, and now d4, and after this the pawn at c capture the pawn, c takes d4, and now the knight capture back. Then the knight to f6 continue to develop, and the knight to c3, and then the black play knight to c6. And here is the first 5 move, and you can see that the white is slightly better with the knight in the center of the square and have many activity to play on this game. And the game continue with develop of the bishop to e3, and now the knight to g4, then the bishop to b5, continue to develop the bishop and pin the knight and preparing the king for a short castling. So bishop to b5 was played, and now the rook, now the knight takes the bishop, knight takes e3, then the pawn capture again, pawn takes e3, and bishop to d7, then bishop capture the knight, and now the pawn capture back, b takes c6. Then the white go for a short castling, and this rook able to attack the pawn at f7, and you have the f file open, and for easier for the white to go for the attack. And now e6 was played. So this is the first 10 move, and you can see that the white is better in this position. And you can see in this game you have the center of the square with the knight and the bishop, and the white is much more better with the knight, both of the knight in this 16 square, and have more activity to play around. After this, e5 was played, and now the bishop goes to e7 and preparing for the king for a short castling and bring the king to a safe location. Then the pawn just capture the pawn, e takes d6, and the bishop capture it back. And now queen to h5, and now the queen preparing to attack and go for a simple checkmate. So if the black make a mistake move such as a6, then queen takes f7 will be a simple checkmate. So therefore, after this, the black just go for a castling and to bring the king to the corner. After this, now you have the idea like simple to bring the rook to f3 and goes to h3, then the queen can just capture the h7 and will be a checkmate. And this will be another idea to attack from the h file. And also you can double up the rook to f1, and you have a strong idea to attack the pawn at f7 and be winning as well. So after this move, the white play rook a to d1, and after this queen to c7, and this diagonal with bishop trying to capture the pawn at h2. Now the knight keep on moving, knight to e4, and you can have the idea to capture the bishop with the rook after this knight move at the e4 d4 move away. So the bishop to e7 was played, and this is only the 15th move, and the position after this become equal. After this, the rook now preparing to go to f3 and preparing to double up the rook. You can double up the rook, or the rook can just go to h3 and prepare for a simple checkmate. After this, g6 was played, and now the queen just moved to h6, and rook h3 will be winning, and this queen capture the pawn will not be able to protect by the black king. So after this move, e5 was played, and this is one of the tactical blunder that the black play, and the white win and mate in 6. I give a couple of seconds to figure out how the continuation of the game to play. Well, congratulations for those who found the answer, and for those who like to enjoy the show, here are the brilliant move and very beautiful game that the white play and win the game. As you can see from this analysis, the white able to mate in 6, and after this, the brilliant move of sacrifice is to use the rook to f6 and block the diagonal of the bishop. So after rook to f6 was played, and the white is complete winning, and you have nothing much you can do at this. So if you capture the knight e takes d4, then you will bring the knight to g5, and now the queen capture will be winning. So knight to g5, and nothing you can block the pawn from at h0 being captured by the queen. And if you want to continue to play to delay the check, you can just use the queen to capture the pawn at h2 and check the king. After king capture, then you can just continue with bishop to d6 and continue to check. And now if you just move away the king to h1, then you can just play such as rook f to e8, and now the queen will just capture the pawn, and the king goes to f8, then the queen will just capture the pawn at f7, and it will be a checkmate. So after this knight, and if you capture the rook, and in this position, if you capture the rook, then the knight will just capture the bishop, and this knight will check the king. And again, the king only have one place to move, king h8, then you can just use the queen to capture, and it will be a checkmate. And back to this position, and if you, after this position, if you capture the rook, if you capture the knight first, then the knight will go to g5, and here definitely if you just move any of the rook f to d8, the same thing will happen, such that you can just use the queen to capture, check, and king to f8, and now the queen just capture the f7 pawn, and it will be a checkmate. So after rook f8, there is nothing much you can do to prevent the checkmate. And in the actual game, the bishop to e6 was played, and after this, the knight just moved to knight to g5, and after this, this is one of the great move, and nothing much the black can prevent the pawn at h7 being captured. And in the game, the bishop just capture the rook, then you have a queen takes the h7 pawn, and this is a very simple checkmate, and again the king has no place to move. So back to this position, the most fantastic move at this game is to use the rook to f6, and this f6 is able to block the bishop diagonal, and a simple checkmate with the knight to g5, and the queen capture the pawn and being protected with the knight. And with this, thank you.